Okay, the recording has started. Welcome back. The holidays are over, and yeah, so let me bring everybody back up to speed on where you are and why you're there. So currently, everyone except for Dasco is in a cave with the corpse question marks of the Delia, the warrior woman Delia is lying there. You guys have just beaten the crap out of her. And why you beaten out of the crap of her? This is the part where the movie goes 3 weeks earlier. So the plan was to rob an incredible quantity of wealth from a caravan that was going to come here to the city of Celebre and leave through the docks and sail past Half-Elven and on off to Corlanth, where they were going to try and hide all their money so that the city of Celebre would not be able to tax it. And in order to execute on this plan, you guys managed to smooth their transition through the Celebran sort of port authority claims, where but in the process, also accomplished some little side objectives. So, Dasco, you managed to get the library of internal documents, including all of the incriminating evidence that they were using to blackmail members of the city's wealthy elite. So that having been acquired and turned over to the Thieves Guild has meant that you are now forgiven. And your forged documents that said that you were now allowed back in Celebre are no longer forged. They are legit, and you have a writ of forgiveness as well as an item that's basically a kind of blank check. If you steal something within Celebre, you can leave this item as a receipt of theft, and the Thieves Guild will cover for whatever you have stolen. Additional things that are going on. So let's see. Evatala, you have been running this scam with Remy for quite some time, and in the course of it have convinced a lot of people that you are a pirate captain. And then you acquired a boat from a guild that is a direct rival to your own family's guild. Yeah, and are now the owner and captain of a boat that has been is one of 3 boats that has been chartered to transport all of this huge amount of treasure out of the city. That treasure is on its way to the boat and actually has arrived at the docks, and they're going to begin loading the treasure onto the boats momentarily. Now, the wagons that have the treasure have magical doors. These magical doors lead to a cave under the city. There's other stuff going on in the cave, but the important thing is that the magical doors actually lead to little rooms that are hovering around the cave, self-enclosed areas held up by magic that, in a couple instances, you guys have successfully hacked. And so you have a door of your very own that you can actually get into the cave to look at all the other rooms from the inside. And that's where you guys encountered Delia, because, let's see, Rurik, let's see, where's Rurik? Yes, Rurik has infiltrated the enemy caravan by getting a job as a bodyguard. And she has taken up a position of trust, and when Delia went through one of the doors that they had secretly also hacked to make an entrance into the cave for themselves, for other various means, you went in after her, and that is where you guys engaged against Delia. Starting with Remy's brilliant teleport her off a cliff trick, Delia unfortunately proved to be a very challenging combatant, so many of you have taken a lot of injury in the process, but eventually you brought her down.
Not me. I'm completely unscathed.
you, you miraculously came through that pretty well. In the process, though, there was some pretty significant damage taken to Charles, your gnomish necromancer friend that you guys have hired, because there was a suspicion that necromancy would be needed on this mission by your illustrious leadership. And indeed, that was true, as while you guys were waiting for the package, a large, like seriously large, like maybe 100 or so, zombies were risen up out of one of the graveyards in the city and sent into the waters. And they've been marching south along the bottom of the inlet, heading in the general direction of Half Elven.
Straight up Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Charles did figure out that these were being summoned by an old companion of his, and knowing that companion likes to stuff explosives into his zombies, Charles managed to hack control of some of those zombies with magic and detonate a few of them. The others have since sort of walked out of range. Now, the enemy crew does still have a few members of note. So, Rourke, of course, they believe is on their side. Also, Lady Amalia, they believe is on their side. Lyria Ryland, they believe is on their side. And they have a crime lord named Jax, who definitely is on their side. And you guys have not compromised in any way yet. Jax is specifically mad at Barnabas for stealing an item, and also for framing him for murder. Yeah, but other than that, the head, Edgar Remington, is... I'm sorry, Edgar Parrington is taking his caravan in. They got robbed a little bit on the way, but it was decoy treasure that they left in a position so that the scoundrels of the city would rob something inconsequential instead of getting to the real treasure inside. And so I believe that's about where we are in terms of things. There is one little side quest going on with Barnabas that the Dwarven government of Thoradil, the TIA, Thoradil Intelligence Agency, did ask that you help them to set explosives on these boats and detonate them off the coast of Half Elven to sink the treasure to a position where Corlanth would not be able to access it, and it would probably mostly fall into the hands of various pirates around Half Elven who would reintroduce the wealth back into the Western economy, keeping it out of the hands of Apthis. All of this is, of course, going on in a state of warfare with Apthis that has recently gotten quite hot with a moon being dropped on their capital city. So there's that is sort of off in the distant background of politics, and there is concern that this money, if it gets to Corlanth, could be used to fund Apthian military activity. Known only to the party, and not broadly known, or at least not broadly believed, there was an attempt to let them know, is that the treasures also do contain some things of military application, including Bennington cannon barrels, Petrish armor frames, and just a stupendous quantity of explosives. And so here we are. You're in a cave. There's a corpse. You probably need to do something about that corpse. And I believe right before we ended, you got a piece of advice on that from Dasco. Dasco, if you could maybe refresh their memories as to your concerns with
I'm pretty sure I recall, the plan was to throw her body into a cliff with the understanding that she would likely be back at some point anyways, and to get as far away from its corpse as possible. Am I remembering that correctly?
That's pretty much correct. I don't know she'll be back, but she might be back. And when she comes back, if she comes back, she's going to be real mad.
Yeah. You guys had a couple plans you discussed. One of them, I believe, was to bury her in solid rock using Duftel's druid powers, and the other was to just toss her down the pit.
I mean, why not both, right? Like, we're gonna Sun Wukong her ass and just put her in a goddamn mountain.
Yeah, I'm all for doing both.
Doing both would mean Duftel would probably have to go down to the bottom of the pit with her. So he'd probably be out of range of doing anything else to help you guys for a little while, taking care of that.
Wouldn't we just chuck her down there and he can just, like, shake through the rocks and then, like, be there?
He could bury her in sand, but if he's going to phase her through rock, he'll need to be in touch range.
Got it. Well, don't carry her down, bro. We'll just throw her down, and then you can meet her down.
Okay. So you guys chuck her body over the side while Dasco, as I recall, when Edgar was coming up to the boats, you decided to just go out and greet him, bold as brass. Was that right?
That's right. I mean, it's my boat.
It's your boat.
I've spent the past week getting to know the families and lives of every sailor on this boat, and losing some of their money to them. So yeah. So this is my boat.
Cool. I would like you to make some kind of perception and investigation check.
No, kiddo.
And maybe perception is not bad. It's not necessarily a physical perception. This is more of a logical deduction. But definitely investigation.
Could do cunning.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, God damn it. It appears that Uther is down.
Well, it has been a couple months, so I understand if Uther kind of decided to take a break.
I have no idea why Uther is down. I don't want to go. I'll go see if I can figure it out. In the meantime, though, I have real dice, so let me just roll.
Ah, real dice. The one thing we're missing from this experience is that
5 successes.
We can't blame failures on unlucky dice.
Yeah, 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay, so all these various people you've gotten to know, there are a very, very small number of them, only about 3 on your boat, whose stories are a little too easy. Like, they're not necessarily true. And all 3 of them are dwarves. Anyway, yeah, so Edgar...
So 3 dwarves were lying to me?
3 dwarves they're either lying to you or they've led some unusually bland lives. Their stories, their loved ones, and whatever are just a little too. They may be fabricated. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm an expert. I'm gifted at
You were an
lying,
expert in lying.
and I have a trait in lying. So yeah. So I'm gonna go and investigate that, but subtly as the things progresses. I'm not in any rush.
Yeah, there's no rush. You guys are going to be at sea for several days here. So Edgar spots you coming up and says, "Well, there's Dasco. Okay, where's Lyria? Or Delia, sorry, where's Delia?" He kind of waves to you and contemplates. He loads some stuff on each of the boats. So each of the boats is getting 2 carts. And after a short time, asks for you to come aboard one of the boats. So a messenger from one of his guard crew comes over and says, "Dasco.
Yes.
My Lord Peregrine, my Lord Parrington wishes to have an audience with you aboard this ship."
Well, of course.
All right. And while everybody's getting things tied down and picking out their bunks, figuring out which hammocks they're going to sleep in, you step aboard the ship and enter into a cabin that he has decked out as fancily as his station applies. He has a table set up. He's sitting at one end of it and offering for you to sit at the other. This is not the usual power play where he would sit behind a desk. He's instead positioning himself as though he is treating you as an equal at a negotiating table.
Okay.
Once you're seated, he sends the guard out of the room and says, "I will get right to the point. I would like to bribe you."
I look at him. I sit back, and then I stroke my beard and I say, "I'm going to be frank with you. I'm interested in being bribed."
Excellent. You've caused me an incredible amount of trouble here in the city, but I'm a businessman. I'm not interested in revenge. I'm interested in business. And if I can pay you to not cause me further trouble, in fact, if I can pay you to get off the boat, go back to the city, and never be seen again, I am happy to do so. This is on this boat is a cart that you're well aware has chests full of gems. Would you accept your choice of these chests to simply walk away?
I think for a second, and then I say, "Sorry, I've already got a better offer."
He sighs and kind of leans back.
I say, "Look, I'm a businessman as well. So if you made me an offer that was better than the offer that I currently have on the table, then I would strongly consider it. But as it stands, it's just not a compelling offer there."
How can I, as a business that would like you as a customer, how can I provide a service to you in the form of some amount of the considerable wealth at my disposal? How can I perform a service for you that will make your decision easier in choosing to leave me alone?
Well, I said, so let's consider the offer that you have on the table. It's not enough to get me to get off the ship and leave. Plus, and maybe let me just I'll just put a card on the table here. Not my whole hand, just a card, If I were to get off the ship, you wouldn't really make it very far. So it's very, very, very much in your interest for me to remain on the ship. So how about you give me the bribe? I'll remain on the ship and make sure that the ship goes where it needs to go.
He considers this for a moment and says, "So you wish to be in my employ?"
Oh, no. This isn't that kind of relationship. You're paying me for a service.
All right, and what is specifically that service?
That you will arrive in Corlanth alive.
A protection service of sorts.
Sure.
I do have plenty of bodyguards. I've got 3 nice ships. I hope you're not threatening me.
I'm not threatening anybody. Look at me. Do I look threatening?
You do not. But then again, you did nearly ruin my operations with the reveal of the extent of the treasure to the justices.
But now you're on the ship. Everything's fine. Maybe I did you a favor.
It was suspicious how easily the Thieves Guild withdrew their petition. I am not certain what angle you're playing, sir. But I have a feeling that it doesn't cost me a dime to let you continue playing it. I rescind my offer for bribe. Thank you for your time. I look forward to meeting you again in Corlanth.
I stroke my beard and I get up and I say, well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. And I say, I promise you that if you allow me to continue my business, you can continue your business, and it certainly won't cost you a penny.
I suspect it will cost me a great deal more, but we shall see. As you leave, you hear him say, "Somebody find fucking Delia." And you proceed back to your ship. 2 of his carts are on your ship, by the way.
Yep.
So 6 of the carts were the ones that had the treasure in it, and he's got 2 of them on each ship. Because most of the treasure is in magical doors, the carts are not particularly heavy, but they do take up a fair amount of space. So the cargo areas of the ships are pretty much locked down. So these ships are not doing much else. This is basically their only mission. He does have his guards, the guys who carry around the potions to enhance their abilities, and the baggy clothes because their potions make them grow big. And this is the condition that the ship is in. After you guys finish taking care of the body, you guys come back up through your door, and the ships get underway. Now, looking at the map, I think, was it about a 5-day sail to get to Half-Elven?
Yeah, Half-Elven is just a few days south.
So you guys have plenty of time right now, particularly if you guys need to rest, as I know a lot of people took some pretty grave injuries. You also, because of the magical door, do not have to rest on the boat. So you guys have access to Celebre, and you can make use of Evitala's glorious estate, if she'll let you in.
All right, Uther's functional again. I had a power outage, and the computer he was running on decided it didn't want to run anymore, but it's up again.
Cool. So let's just go through the list here. Evitala, what would you like to do for the first day of the journey?
Get into my best ship captain's gear as possible. Possibly with some consultation with Barnabas, if Barnabas will allow.
Of course.
The crew does not find it at all suspicious that you keep going into your cabin and emerging with freshly purchased goods from the Celebran Bazaar.
Yeah. I just want to walk around top deck of my authority.
Okay. Are you going to allow members of your team to use your estate for rest and recovery?
If they need to, yes.
Delia really kicked the shit out of some people, so
Yeah.
yeah.
They'll have to be smuggled in the back door, but yes.
Okay. Hopefully your family hasn't figured out that you've turned and joined the Fisherman Guild.
Can we use the doors to move between ships?
Yes, but the door on the other ship, there's only one other door that you can access on the other ship so far. That door is a door that the mining cooperative believes they control. So if you step out of it, you're stepping out of one of their carts. The door that you guys have, you actually set up in your own room. It's not connected to any carts. Yeah. Every time you go through that door, you do run the risk of encountering somebody from the mining cooperative coming through their own door and making use of the cave for their purposes.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
luckily
like the people in charge are all like elites, basically. The guy I talked to and his team or whatever, the ship captains and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so the three ships, there's your ship, there's the ship that Edgar Parrington is on. There is a third ship that is captained by a member of the Fishing Guild, and Edgar has sent Jax over to maintain that ship and keep control of that.
So the fishing guild guy might be a thing, but I'm going to bet that for the rest of these guys, if some of our sailors ended up on another ship, no one would even notice.
Probably not.
Excellent.
The sailors from the other ship would notice. That's who would notice.
That's right. We'll cut them in two.
All right, Remy, how would you like to spend your first day?
I like to rest and to recover stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. Vivian, what was the quality of Evitala's estate again? I have forgotten.
It was high. Is the only number I remember. I don't have it noted anymore.
Okay.
I want to say you said it was 6, but I cannot remember for sure.
6 sounds right for like top tier aristocratic stuff in Celebre. So yeah, we'll go with 6. So anybody who is going back and doing a full and proper rest, you get recover 6 tax.
And all the other, if we don't, can go into stamina, right?
Correct. Dasco, I think I have an idea of what your answer is based on your previous questions, but I'm going to go ahead and ask, what is it that you're doing for this first day at sea?
I'm going to go find the ship's carpenter, and I'm going to get some resources, and I'm going to start fabricating some fake doors, replicas.
Ooh, okay, clever. All right.
I am good at fabricating fake things.
Yeah, and these doors are not like made with the intention of being unreplicatable.
And I have even better than the real thing anyway, and a 5 artistry, so it doesn't really make much difference.
Excellent. And I think we have a Jackie back.
Yep.
Yay! What would Auroric be doing for the first day at sea?
Let me think. My thought initially was just to have her kind of really just be on her own for a little while because she is contemplating the death of an old ally, but also has very complicated feelings about it because, as you know, she is a veteran of the Demon War, and so was that chick. And these weapons were meant to go to Apthus, so it's just like a lot of swirly, conflicted feelings. Like, I'm not a good person. I'm literally a murderer and a criminal. But like having seen the Demon Wars firsthand and things like that, it's just like very. It's like dark. It's dealing with some dark feelings, you know.
Yes.
That's what Rourke's doing. He's dealing with some dark feelings.
Edgar Parrington would like to know what happened to Delia. And now that he's found Dasco basically just introduced himself. He wants to tell Delia that that's where Dasco is and let her loose upon him. So he's been sending out his minions. You were the last person he saw chase after her. So he would like a report from you as soon as possible.
How shortly after her did I follow?
You went down pretty quick. You didn't go down immediately. You waited until your party had actually engaged. And then you made an excuse to go after her and see if she was okay.
Can you give me an exact amount of time? Like, are we talking 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour?
A minute, maybe.
God damn it. Okay, so.
She was engaged in combat within seconds of arriving.
Gotcha. Okay, I will report on. Wasn't there like a fucked up mystery creature?
Yes.
On there? Okay. And didn't that kill a fuck ton of the security officers?
3 of them.
Okay, so my plan is to.
And you guys blew up another 3, so they're crediting it with 6 kills. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, excellent, good. And then have I recovered her sword?
If you wish to have, that was.
I will take that as my compelling evidence that she has been dispatched by the mystery creature that took out 6 of our officers. And yeah.
Okay. Edgar is like just kind of distraught upon seeing you bring in the sword. It's like, what happened?
I mean, I'm not even gonna say that I saw anything except for like. I mean, this creature is very fucking spooky and strikes from the shadows and shit. So it's like I couldn't even make out what was going on, and by the time I tried to like recover her, like she was gone. And the thing already killed like 6 officers, so it was not my intention to abandon my duty as like the most senior security officer. Like this is an incredible loss. But this is a serious loss. Like I can't even express.
He levels his gaze and looks at you and says, "Did you see her body?"
I mean, I'll act really shaken and see like I only heard the screams.
It is very unfortunate, but there is a possibility she's still alive, and I will hold out hope for that. She is tougher to kill than you can possibly imagine. That is not necessarily true.
I look at him and say, I served in the Demon Wars alongside her. I am fully aware.
In that case, because of your connection, I would like you to keep her sword. I fear that if I give it to anyone else, they'll try to claim it as theirs. And if it turns out she's alive, I know you will have the righteousness to give it back to her.
If you believe she's alive, then I will hold it in my custody until such a time.
If you didn't see a body, then I think there's a strong possibility she's alive.
I don't know.
I truly hope so, sir, because this demon, whatever this is, it's taken out many of our men, and I am growing concerned that it is more intelligent and more powerful than we can. We simply don't have enough intelligence on this creature.
Well, our need for the cavern is almost concluded. Perhaps we can just seal it up. How many
With all
men
due
would you
respect,
need?
sir, I agree. Getting as far away from this creature and quarantining it to prevent further issues is probably the most prudent course of action.
All right, then. Order the men to empty the wine cellar, distribute its contents amongst the crews. We'll have a big celebration of our success. Include the crewmen from the fishing guilds. We'll share this among everyone, make a big show of it, and then toss the door that leads to it into the ocean.
Hi, sir. If you don't mind, I'd like to take a moment of personal leave to address my thoughts on.
Do what you need to do, but make sure that that threat is dealt with. Once that
Yes, sir.
door is in the ocean, the creature has no way of getting to us.
Yes, sir.
But don't lose out hope. Delia's fought demons before, and there's more to her than there looks.
For our sake, I hope you're right, sir.
As a minor lore update, so you may have known Delia having fought in the Battle of Gareth and Field. She was on the other side in that fight, but still.
I have a warrior's respect for her, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you might not know she was on the other side. She doesn't say that she was on the side of the demon side in Gareth and Field. She just says that she fought in that battle.
Only in the war of Gareth and Field against Caileron's demons. When it came to the Beatazu marching on Salus, she fought alongside Cilicians. Yeah,
that's right.
So she has fought both for and against demons.
Correct.
She's got the whole spectrum down.
Well, that's just prejudice against demons because they're different. Demons are different. There's different kinds of demons, and some of them are worse than others. Just depending on your metrics, you know.
Caileron's not technically a demon anyway, but
yeah. All right. So he grants you your leave, but then he did tell you that when you get a chance, just empty the wine cellar, host a party, and then toss its door into the ocean.
I delegate those orders. Wait, does he want me to personally carry out the wine barrels? No. Some other grunt is going to do that shit. I tell them to do that shit.
What he wants is for you personally to destroy the door or get rid of it. Prevent the demon from having access to the door. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I am not going to act on those orders because I'm going to try to collaborate with my colleagues to see if I can sequester the door somewhere secret so that we can maintain access.
You may find Dasco's current project for the day very interesting.
Not, whatever's cool.
I'm not sure if you were back yet, but Dasco is making fake doors.
Excellent.
All right, let's see. Next on the list is Barnabas. What are you doing for the day?
So I have this side mission to blow up the ships that I think we're currently on. So don't don't really want to do that, at least while we're on them. So I want to figure out, maybe I'll try and, if everyone's around somewhere, try and get together and plan for how we can use this to our advantage potentially. I don't know if we want to try and steal everything and then blow up the ships and then I guess everything just blew up. That might work out to our benefit.
I think the plan is to specifically detonate near Half Elven.
That's the Thoradil Intelligence Agency's plan, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with our own ulterior plan.
Well, they think
Alternate plan.
They think that we're going to be tossing the only door that connects to the caverns into the ocean. So if we still have connections to the caverns, we can just slowly do the barrel tricks on the other doors, because they probably won't open the doors because they know that they're not attached anymore. And we can just funnel out everything into them. And then by the time we get there, we can blow up all the ships and hop back into Thoradil or wherever they are, the city.
I mean, we don't have to throw the real doors over the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess we could have the ships blow up as planned, but we, along with all of our shit, will be gone by then. We're going to throw fake doors overboard? Is that what you're implying?
I'll be right back.
I mean, I'm making some fake doors. They're going to be indistinguishable. So, I don't know. I'm a quartermaster. I have useful things. I just create options. I don't have a plan. I just create opportunities.
All right. Who's our planner? Is that Remy?
That's me. I'm sleeping.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Remy sleep. I think what I'll do is, I'm kind of inspired by Evatala's, costuming. So I'm going to try and make some sort of, matching type. Not exactly matching, but, thematically matching costume for Barnabas, just because...
First mate.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be your first mate. That way, if Jax happens to catch a glimpse of me, hopefully he won't recognize me.
Fortunately, Jax is on a different boat.
True. I don't know if we'll be ships crossing in the night.
Well, an order has been given for the ships to meet up as the sun is setting and tie together to share drinks as they're opening the wine cellar and just sharing all of the really good booze to everybody.
Well, then I will, definitely be making sure my disguise looks nothing like me.
Excellent. If you encounter Jax during the party, we'll definitely see a roll for that. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that that's what you've spent your time doing.
Mm-hmm.
And also, of course, getting Evatala dressed up as well.
Definitely.
Charles. What will Charles be doing for the day?
We were given access to Avatalia's manor, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Through
the back entrance.
Yeah, if the butler doesn't bother me all the thing, I'm just going to grab I'm just going to go to whatever liquor cabinet there is and grab a nice bottle. I'm going to go kick open Avatal's door and I'm going to go lay in that bed with my clothes just resting as I'm just chugging on the bottle. And I'm going to rest the whole day in that room.
All right. You and Remy then crash and just spend a day resting. Recover 6 tacks.
Evatal is going to be livid if she finds out.
Is anyone staying in the cabin that you guys have set up for yourself with the door?
Evatal will probably be making very clear that that cabin is for her and her officers alone.
Is anyone going to stay in and guard it just in case, or is everybody going to be out? Dasco, for example, you could do most of your crafting work in there if you wanted to. It would not make sense for Rurik to be there.
I would probably want somebody to guard it personally, but also like I would tell her just be shit guard.
Dufta will be back from the pit in the evening, but for most of the day, if it's unguarded, it's unguarded. But if somebody's going to stay there, then that's a different situation.
Why don't we do the costuming in there?
Okay.
And that way we always have somebody inside.
Those of you who are staying in there then for your costuming, please make investigation checks with perception.
I think that is just me and Avatala.
Yep. I don't know if Dasco, did you need resources from Celebre, or are you able to do the work in there?
I mean, it's a ship, so I'm assuming they have like wood and carpentry materials, right?
Yeah.
So I'm okay. If not, if you think I need materials, I'm happy to just.
No, the question is, will you be doing your crafting in the cabin that they're trying to guard, the one that has the actual original door?
Yeah, I'm going to use them as reference.
Okay, so you can make a roll as well.
4 successes on my part.
And what's this roll for?
This is investigation plus perception to see if you notice something that may or may not be occurring in the vicinity of your cabin.
Three.
All three of you notice when the timer on the little bead that you put into the door expires and the door automatically closes itself. All three of you look to see it, because it does make a little bit of noise as it excuse me, as it closes. And all three of you notice that the little hourglass timer you guys use to keep track of how long you have before the door closes has not quite finished running through its sand.
How much sand is left?
About an eighth of the total amount of sand is still left to fall.
Is this like the real door?
It's not one of the fakes. The fake ones don't actually work, so yeah.
Plot twist.
Can you remind me again what this is? It's been too long.
So the way the doors work is that you have to mount them in a special frame, and the frame has a little hole that you insert those standard magical marbles that are used to power all of the Celebran magical artifacts. These are things that were invented by the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild, so that normal people could use magical things without having to know magic themselves. And so they sell these little marbles that contain enough magical energy to trigger the various artifacts that they also produce. This door frame uses those standard marbles to power it, and it keeps the door open for a specific amount of time. And then the magic fails, the door closes, and you have to put in another marble to get the door to open back up again to the magical teleportation place. Up till now, you've had an hourglass that has been used as sort of a warning that, like, okay, it's going to last this long, so you know how long the door will stay open, because you can only open it from the outside. You can't open it from the caves. And the door has just closed earlier than your timer would have expected it to close.
Interesting.
I don't know nothing about magic, but we are getting further away from where it's going, right?
Yes.
I'll try and investigate the door marble, I guess.
Okay. This is basically some math that you're going to need to do on the distance you are from it and the timing and the magical energies involved. You did recently hack the door, so you have some understanding of its underlying stuff. You'll need to do, just basically some scholarship Probably scholarship cunning. You think back to that brief time you spent at the Celebran Mage Academy where they were trying to teach you math, and they're like, no, really, you're going to need to know this someday.
God. I'm trying to like draw out a chart, and I'm not even sure if this is like supposed to be 2D, 3D, 4D. What? I have decent scholarship. 2 successes.
You think that you're definitely going to run into reduced uptimes, and there will eventually be a limit where the door will just not be able to open. There won't be enough power to trigger the connection. But you don't know what that limit is, and you don't know how that time period is going to drop.
It's going to drop suddenly. We should probably try to keep the ship slow at least until we get everybody back on board. The slower this fleet moves, the better. I guess what I could do we have a way of messaging to the other ships?
Oh yeah, you guys are all sailing within sight of each other, so the flag messengers are able to flag to each other just fine.
So what tiny problem that will require us to slow down can we invent?
We do have a druid. We can just get him to control the waters to like slow down, like to cause like or the winds to.
Our druid is not here right now.
He's an NPC though that we can use.
The NPC that you're referring to is currently at the bottom of a cave, getting rid of a corpse for you.
Okay, but we don't need it like immediately right away. Like we could always just like after he's done burying the thing, we can get him to help with the problem. Unless if you want it like right away, like right now, want a problem.
I kind of want like right now a problem that's enough to just say, hey, we need to slow up here. Sails to half and all that. While we address this. Yeah, that could work. Something that's just going to kill some time until everybody can be back on the ship, and we can decide how we want to organize this.
So as evening comes, the ships are brought to a halt and pulled together, and a grand party will ensue.
I feel like that's a perfect opportunity to, mess with the ship. So that when we set sail again.
Does my crew know that I was invited into the office of like the really big important guy that runs this fleet?
Oh yeah, everybody saw it.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure. I'm not gonna say anything specifically, but I'm gonna talk to my crew and be like, "Yeah, the big boss wanted to talk to me, has some beef with me and stuff like that." But and I just wink at them and say, I had a conversation with him. We got a little. Once I hear about the party, I'm just gonna spread around and be like, I got a little, got a little something special planned.
You're going to take credit for the party, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Well, everyone on your ship, it's 3 cheers for Dasco as the booze is spread out. This is an ideal time, by the way, for you to start swapping members of your loyal crew with the other ships. You'll, of course, have to start convincing members of the other ships to join in on your scheme. But all of them are fishing guild, so some of them even know each other. Even though 2 of these ships are... no, I'm sorry, just one. One of these ships is technically owned by a member of the Teamsters Guild, Evatala. The crew is Fishing Guild, so... yeah. All right. The party gets underway. Rorik, after all of the booze has been unloaded by your minions, what are you going to do with the door?
We're not getting rid of it, right? I can disassemble it, can't I?
Oh, you take it out of its frame. That's necessary to get rid of it if you're going to throw it overboard as ordered. But yeah, once it's out of its frame, it's not usable. You can't go into it. It is just a door, a giant piece of wood with a doorknob that doesn't function.
So, I definitely don't want to toss it because we might use it later. Are the ships all kind of like intermingling right now?
Yes. They've been tied together to form a large barge. The ship in the middle has had its deck cleared to be used as a dance floor.
Awesome. I'm wondering if in the commotion I can get the door somewhere else. But where to is, I guess, my next question.
Where to and how? It's not exactly a discrete thing you can put in your pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're going to go through everybody and give everybody a turn to do something. So
I
we'll
actually have to be right back.
Oh, okay. So we'll start with Remy. Having had basically a day of rest, do you want to continue sleeping into the night, or would you like to return to the ship and join the party?
I will. I will come aboard. I'll go to the ship and party.
Okay. Accommodations on the ship are, while festive, certainly they're not high-end. So you'd only recover 2 tax from your rest that evening, but you get to be part of the party.
Nice. Thank you.
And since we're here, let's also do Charles, who's in the same situation you're in. Charles, do you want to continue to rest to get another 6 tax off, or would you like to return to the ship and join the party? You are to understand that there's a great deal of booze there.
Sure. I'll ruffle through the clothes and I'll like put on something like decent, like come onto the ship.
Okay. You return. Upon returning, you immediately detect necromantic energy in the waters below.
Son of a.
It seems like the ships have just sailed right over top of a line of zombies.
And we just stopped here, right?
Yep. Just come to a stop. The line extends further south towards Half-Elven. It looks like the zombies started spacing themselves out and positioning themselves in a line, and you are stopped directly over top of the beginning of that line.
I like the moment I get up in the ship, I guess because I have the rest of the crew there. I'll just be like, I'm about to turn around and get back into the door. I'll be like, actually, remember that problem we had before with zombies and explosives? Currently, there's a Congo line, and we're at the beginning of that Congo line. So currently under our ship is an explosive zombie.
Just to be clear, that's bad, right?
Are explosives usually bad?
I don't know. Are they explosive zombies or yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like Charles would know for sure that explosives are bad based on a behavior that he exhibited earlier in our story where he decided to blow up every explosive zombie that he had.
Look, before I met you guys, my life was simple. Explosives were bad. Zombies were also bad. But then I met you guys. Now I'm carrying a bunch of satchel charges in my backpack, and zombies are all over the place. So I don't know if it's good or bad. You tell me. The world has got so goddamn complicated.
They're not our zombies.
I just sigh and say, I don't really even know how to feel about that.
Yeah. So yeah, for some reason, yeah, they had them. It seems like they're having them spaced out from here to wherever amount of zombies that they have. Also, you have a comfy bed. As I like goes to grab a drink and have a sip.
Who's controlling these zombies?
The rival necromancer, I presume.
One of the rival necromancers.
What is their plan with that though? Because they'd just be blowing up their treasure.
Might be a way to communicate or something. I don't know.
You do have the magics to try and check out what's going on with the zombie. You're not going to be able to see so much, but you can try and like feel it out. You know, you've worked with this guy though. He definitely knows you hacked his zombies earlier, and he's going to have reinforced his magics. So hacking them will probably not be as easy as it once was. That said, you're pretty good at your job.
Yeah. So I need to get my pendant back a bit better because it's currently being used up a lot. And I also want to double check for resting. I put as many of my taxes into that, what's it called, stamina, and then I remove it.
You can do it in either order. 6 of your taxes are gone from resting.
Yeah,
and then after that, you can move as many other taxes as you need to into your stamina. Yeah.
Okay, I was just checking it because I moved everything to stamina and then I removed the 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
You should have lost a total of 8 though, right? 6 plus the 2 from the party.
Well, yeah, we haven't rested yet. But
yeah. At the end of the party, yeah, you'll get another 2.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so let's see here. Currently have.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know what we're choosing between when you made that decision.
Gotcha.
All right here, so let's see. Since it's necromancy, and I have necromancy master, so I get that, and then I get necromancy plus what's it called? My cunning and my focus and my lore, whatever it's called, scholarship. So yeah, I guess I'll figure out what's going on.
Lay those dice down. For now, you're just feeling out with your senses, right? You're not actually casting a spell?
I'm just feeling out with my senses because I don't really have a zombie thing spell. That would be a 5 successes.
Okay. It's not super clear what's going on, but you have a sense of the shape of the zombie. you don't have anywhere near enough control. He is super reinforced. It's like he's spent all this time that you guys have been working on your plan. He's just been reinforcing his magical control. But you do feel a couple things. One, the explosives have been gutted out of the zombie. It no longer has the explosives in it. You think that maybe he learned something when you blew up his other zombies earlier, and decided to just pull the explosives out to prevent you from pulling that trick again. The other thing is that there seems to be some stuff tied to the zombie. You're not really sure. It's like it's got ropes around its wrists, waist, and ankle. You're not sure what's going on with that. Because the ropes themselves are not made of necromantic anything. They're just, something is grabbing onto those parts of the zombie. You do not have access to the zombie's eyes, so you can't look around. All you can do is just feel the shape of it, and that's the shape.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Currently, the zombie seems to have no more explosives in it, though it is now connected to by the arms and legs and such by, I assume, some kind of rope. So it seems like they have a giant rope Congo line.
Alrighty, let's just go through the list here. So, all right, that was Charles's action. Barnabas, what would you like to do during the party?
Barnabas is definitely going to hit up whatever bar they have. Just kind of listen around, see what he can hear. Blend in.
It's an improvised bar. Of course, all the booze is on the house. But the bartender you recognize, you briefly took a job with them.
Nice. A former colleague?
You might say that. They were the proprietor of a casino in Necromancer Town.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the owner of the casino.
So if you wish to not be recognized, you're definitely going to need to make a disguise check here.
All right.
Do you have any talents that allow you to be disguised by default, or do you need to roll dice?
I'm pretty certain I'm going to need to roll dice. In the past, I had like a disguise. So like for my Coralanthe disguise, I had some sort of quality level for it. So I think I rolled to maybe determine that. I'm not really sure.
Okay, so yeah, let's see how well you put this disguise together.
Cool. Obviously, this is a different disguise, but I'm just imagining that's how this kind of works, is that like I'll make a roll that determines how good the disguise is. I suppose I'm using my criminal potential.
Yeah, this would be crime for sure.
Well, and I have that like criminal potential.
So I could.
But maybe that's for using a talent.
I could see arguments for artistry or for performance, but criminal seems to make the most sense.
What is my criminal potential? It's under my class.
Yeah, so your criminal potential lets you, for one thing, it lets you use your talent that you can be anybody in a situation. So that's your magical rewind superpower. Where you have that talent under Criminal Smith, which lets you use that. But as any potential, if you're using relevant things, it can potentially add dice to stuff too. You have to be doing something relevant, and you need to have advantage to use it as dice.
All right. Yeah, I'm considering whether or not I want to use that. What about persuasion? If I just want to like see if my disguise works, or is crime more appropriate? Like I'm considering what I'm going to do if I don't use my criminal smith skill, because I don't know if I necessarily want to like spread rumors and pretend like I am some special person or whatever. I just want to have a good disguise, and that's about it. So I think I'm thinking of using persuasion, I guess, and cunning. Or I actually don't know if that. I don't know if that applied.
Well, what are you thinking of using your persuasion to do? You're going to basically just talk in such a way that you convince him that you're not that person?
No, it's more so the disguise. So I guess I'm just trying to figure out what should be my skill for.
I have a quick question.
I think crime. Yeah, what's your question?
I'm in charge of the security here. Wouldn't I fucking have known about this guy and recognize...
Which guy?
The bartender.
Yeah, you met him. You've been introduced to him.
Yeah.
He's the owner of the.
Oh no! So I can't actually deal with him then without blowing my cover.
Yep.
Fuck. Okay, never mind.
Okay, I think I'll go with crime then, and then I suppose crime and cunning.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. A cunning disguise. Yeah, when you were introduced to him, he specifically commented, because he recognized you, Rurik. He commented to Edgar how impressed he was that Edgar was able to hire such talent out from under him.
Oh yes, that's right.
Three successes. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna boldly, like, confidently walk up to the bar and order a drink, taking on the persona of my first mate pirate outfit.
If he recognizes you, he makes no mention of it. Serves your drink, and yeah, compliments you on your style, and of course, as any good bartender does, and yeah, sends you off.
All right, I'll proceed to just eavesdrop throughout the party deck.
It seems that there's a couple people who've noticed you eavesdropping. A couple dwarves. They're giving you kind of knowing looks and nods. You're like, yeah.
These guys are definitely from the TIA.
Definitely.
Which technically, wouldn't the TIA pay me?
Yes, they are offering to pay you if you help them blow up this boat.
Yeah. But speaking of which, for the logistics of that, like, did they give me explosives?
They
already?
said they would have the explosives on board, ready for you to make use of. You're not anywhere near half elven, so your contacts are just kind of nodding and being like, "Yep, we're over here. When you're ready, come get the explosives," and then you hide them away in the right spots.
All right. Well, I will give them a knowing nod and a wink.
All right. All right. They've received the message, and they'll just wait for you to come to them. You now that you've identified them, you'll be able to find them when you need to. Okay, so that's Charles and Barnabas taken care of. Rurik, what would you like to be doing during the party? This is a good confusing moment if you wanted to move the door about, but you would need to have a good cover for it. Also, you could throw it overboard, which is what your boss wants you to do, but yeah.
Right.
Also, if you've been communicating at all with Vasco, you might be able to swap it for a fake door and make a show of destroying a fake door.
That's basically my plan. Like, I need to decoy, do my job.
All right, so if you're going to be moving the door yourself, you're going to need to do a stealth check. Because it is the size of a door, this will be a little bit difficult. You might want to call in some help on this one.
Definitely calling in help. I'm not going to do this alone.
Can Avatala make us invisible?
You know that spell.
Yeah. I didn't rest though, so
Used it for some good uses a couple times, yeah.
Can Evatala make herself visible? Can you just go put on a show on the other side of the ship?
Now that does not require any magic at all. You got
Unless I
the
wanted to.
being visible part down.
I mean,
I like the idea of her being so fabulous and it causes such a ruckus that's what we use for cover.
let's go for it.
Alrighty. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing a performance check, and however many successes you get, you can add those as dice to any of your friends' stealth checks.
All right. I have taxed my performance to shit.
No.
You didn't recover it? 6 of it? Or?
I did rest.
Oh, you didn't rest.
Yeah.
If you give a good speech, I'll let you use persuasion instead.
All right. It's okay.
You're just gonna want to go up there and say, "We're men and women of the sea," and it's gonna be great.
See, the problem is that Avatar would be great. That's I'm just terrible at. I do have.
Well, that's why you get to roll dice. So as long as you give a speech of some sort, we'll let the dice decide if it was good or not.
Yeah, it's like one or the other, right? Either you role play really good, or you roll really good.
All right. So she's wearing the fanciest of the outfits that we've designed together.
Tricorn hat with crazy feathers.
Yeah, lots of jewelry, lots of gold, and she's going to go. For some reason, there's an open mic in my mind. There's not. This is a fantasy medieval world. But she'll go and magically, I guess, amplify her voice. If you allow it, and
little cantrip. That's no big deal.
Yeah, and she'll regale her tales of adventure on the high seas, of how she has had many a crew in her time, and yet, even after just one sail, there has never been a better crew than the one she has right now.
You guys can literally still see the lights from the city you just left, but yeah, totally.
It's about the bond that they've built together over this short period of time and the kinship.
Yeah. That she is forever grateful to those who have decided to sail on this important voyage. A voyage that requires the best of the best. And she could not be more proud of each and every one of them.
I love you guys so much.
All right, that'll do. Roll your persuasion. Right. Successes count as additional dice for distracting people.
Persuasion plus empathy, I presume.
Yeah, for sure.
Can she get pips if she cheers at certain points during the speech and makes everyone take a swig of their tankard?
Yeah.
Yeah, take 2 pips for everyone being drunk.
There you go.
4 successes.
Okay. So anybody attempting stealth during this party gets an extra 4 dice to use.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Dasco, will you be assisting in this operation?
Please help me. I'm strong, but I'm not sneaky.
I mean,
I just need you to intercept anyone and bullshit them until I can get past. That's basically what I'm hoping you can help me do.
yeah, sure. I mean, it seems to me, right, that like you were given explicit orders to move this door.
I was given explicit orders to move this door.
So I mean, it's not suspicious to me at all that you're moving the door.
And that's exactly what you're going to tell people.
That is exactly what I'm going to tell people.
All right, cool. I guess I'll roll my dice. Can I use vigor? Because I'm just couldn't.
Wait, you're moving the door, right?
Yeah, I'm moving the door.
Should I roll for helper dice or something? Or is
Absolutely.
All right, is that just persuasion, you think?
Yep. That's a persuasion intercept right there.
All right, persuasion and I guess cunning, and it's definitely lying.
Definitely.
So. Okay, all right.
Also, I believe you're taking a fake door to her to swap. You guys are going to swap a fake door for a real door.
Right, but I mean, fundamentally, though, so she's moving a door, and then as far as anyone else is concerned, she's then moving the same door. So it's just one action of moving a door, as far as anyone is concerned.
Right.
Only to us is it moving 2 doors.
Well, it's just giant, big slab of wood, right? Pretty much.
With a doorknob on it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Roughly the size of a person. Yeah.
Good. This is Avatali's ship, right?
Well,
So,
all 3 ships are together, and what she's trying to do is she's trying to get it from one ship on one side across to the other ship on the other side, or somehow swap. You've got doors that are on opposite sides of this 3-ship party going on.
Yeah,
and you need to swap them.
Oh, you know what we can do?
We're on Avatali's ship, right? With her crew that knows her, right?
On one side of the party is that ship, yes.
Perfect. Those crew members need to move wooden dressing screens across different parts of the ship, so Evatala can go have costume changes during her speech, and they know that is not ridiculous. So there will be multiple wooden screens moving across the ship, so there'll be different places for her to change.
This is why Remy is a criminal mastermind.
This is so good.
All right,
good job, guys.
7 helpers.
Fuck yeah. Also, I have to say, just let's rewind for a moment. You said that this door is about roughly the size of a person?
Yeah.
Excellent. So it is smaller than me. Cool. Good to know.
You're not having any trouble picking up the door for sure, but the door, by nature of being a door, needs to be able to fit a person through it once it's mounted in a frame. So, yeah.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I just had to remind you that I'm huge.
Oh, yeah. Rourke's a big lady.
Mark that down on the bingo card.
Okay, at this point you have so many dice in your favor, I'm not even sure you need to roll for this.
I mean, I can. It would be funny. But
go for it.
How many things do I roll?
So far you've got 10 helper die.
Good lord, okay.
So you're rolling your stealth plus probably agility, and then 10 helper dice.
Is it
or vigor? Stealth plus vigor. That's fine.
I'm doing vigor.
All right.
Is it not 11 dice though? 7 plus 4? Or am I missing something?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at Shifty's roll there for some reason. There we go. My screen had not updated. All right. There we are. Yes, you're right. 11. 11 helper dice.
Do I get any pips? Probably not, right?
No, not really. You don't really have like a cloak of... Okay, yeah. There you go. There you go. Honestly, that's a fairly average roll. I was hoping for something extreme in one direction or the other.
I too was hoping for
the
something
comedy
better.
of it. But yeah, all right. So yeah, you swap the doors. You now have a door that's indistinguishable from the real door that leads to the wine room. And now you have just a normal piece of wood that's not magical in any way, shape, or form that you can make a show of destroying. I don't know if you want to have like a ceremony, like a funeral or something as you toss it overboard. Whatever it is you want to do.
I just want to have like, okay, who's like the next most senior officer, trusted security person?
That would be Slafan.
Okay, I'm gonna have that person either have them send a subordinate to assist me with it, or have them do it with me, so that there's somebody who can corroborate that is trustworthy.
Okay, so Slafan will do it in person. He's creepy as fuck, by the way.
Ew.
Yeah, Slafan is like a really, like, yeah.
Okay, I pick one more person to be with me then. Fuck that.
Okay. Yeah, Slafan has been Edgar's chief operations officer for a while, and he's basically Edgar's version of. It's hard to tell. He's definitely like a rogue class of some sort, stealthy, but like is kind of like the opposite of Evatala, really. Like just dark, brooding, always wearing black.
Is he like that guy from Arcane? That creepy guy, the science guy, creepy science guy in the background?
Yeah, he's like creepy science guy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
He's the guy that sits in the shadows and whispers into people's ears.
And he has like a naked cat, you know,
yeah,
like,
that kind of shit.
Like straight up. Oh yeah.
All right, so the three of you toss the door over. It's made of wood, so it does not immediately sink. You guys kind of scratch your head, and you're not sure what to do about that.
What's something very heavy that's not buoyant around me?
Slafan says, I have an idea. And he goes and he comes back with a sack. It's like a burlap sack that has something inside it that's just absurdly heavy.
Can I look inside?
You can look inside if you do it a little bit sneakily.
Okay, I can try that. I'm going to roll my own stealth now.
Remember, you are also under the benefits of all kinds of crazy distractions. So
does that really help me right now? Is that
it totally does?
Oh, sick! It lasted the whole scene.
Evatala is still in the background giving a ridiculous speech. Like, yeah.
People are just cheering and screaming.
Dasko's clearly causing trouble that's distracting this guy.
I'll run the same dice roll again.
Right.
I'm doing very slightly better by just one.
It's bars of solid gold.
God damn.
He just went to the room of gold and just filled a sack with gold bars and brought it back to use it as a weight to weigh the door down.
I think very quietly that Dasko would be very upset at me right now, but that I just take it and I try and huck it onto the door.
Cool. You put it on the door very rapidly sinks into the waters with the gold along with it. And you guys return to the party. Dasko, obviously you were helping, but that didn't take up much of your attention, as it was stuff you do normally anyway, like lying and breathing. So do you want to do anything else at the party with your crew of loyal persons?
I mean, I'll try and ingratiate myself with the other crews. Shouldn't be too hard given the rapport I have with this crew. And then just get the lay of the land in terms of like what people think, any sort of like worries about the trip. These are all Celebran, roughly. I mean, the sailors are all roughly Celebran loyalists. Right?
They are. They're Celebran Fishing Guild. So to them, this is just a milk run. Like we get in the boat, we sail to Corlanth, we sail back. honestly, what most of them are worried about is figuring out something they can pick up in Korlanth to sell for a profit when they get back. Because they've got their outgoing shipment, but they don't have a plan yet for something to bring back, and coming back empty is a waste of a trip. So yeah, that's what's mostly on their mind right now. And, you know, the current cargo is a little weird, but not really weird for this, you know, city. Like, this city's seen some crazy shit over the years. There was one time some people came back with a freaking werebear in their hold.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, yeah, this is... The fact that the stuff they're shipping is magical doesn't worry them. It's like, it's not alive this time, so that's great news.
Yeah, so I just kind of make myself known, and just make sure that the crews know know that I exist and that I'm a friend.
Okay. Do you want to spread a little money around?
I mean, other than yeah, sure. I mean, I'll spread a little money around. Also, I mean, I'll do my best to make sure that everyone knows that I thought they were all worthy of this party and managed to kind of like, you know, talk the man into giving us all a little bit of a break.
Okay. That is, of course, running counter to Edgar's own information campaign, which is, this is a reward for you guys. But it doesn't seem like he really put his heart into it.
Yeah, and it's okay. You know, I let them know that, like, you know, he's an important guy. He's going to take credit for stuff, you know. I'm a humble guy, you know. Like, I said, you know, this would be a great idea, and he kind of went along with it. And you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care if he takes credit for it, as long as you guys are taken care of, because you're my people.
Alrighty. And then, Remy, what are you doing during the party? Aside, of course, from setting up the spectacle for Evasion.
I don't know, just drinking.
Okay. Mission accomplished. And Evatala, while you're up there giving your glorious speech, are there any personal objectives you want to be achieving? Aside from, obviously, helping out Rourke with the door swap.
I'm making sure to, like, call out crew members that I know by name as being particularly exemplary. And it's basically just me listing as much of the crew as I possibly can remember.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking towards, like, the other ship's crews out there and, like, putting the captains on the spot to, you know, how do they think their crew is performing? Where their only answer that they could give that won't, like, cause a ruckus is they've been also performing exemplary.
Are you going to support the swapping of crew? It was one of Dasco's plans was to try and get some of the crew
yes,
that's
but
loyal
I don't
to you
want
guys.
to bring it up.
Okay.
I don't be the one to propose it. I want it to be an idea that I could readily agree to.
Okay. The party goes well past sunset as the booze flows. And when the sun rises, the cawing of the birds from the shore kind of gets everybody awake. The boats are separated, and they resume their journey south.
So, just so I'm clear, what happened with the doors?
You guys now have all the doors. Well, not all the doors. You have all the doors that have known openings into the cave. So access to the cave now is exclusively yours, and you don't have to worry about other people traversing it.
Okay, excellent.
This may be a side effect of unloading all the booze, although it seems to be more than that would be caused by that, but the boats do seem to be riding a little lower in the water right now than they were the previous night. Remember that the booze was coming from an extra-dimensional space, where it would not be contributing to the boat's buoyancy, or weight, or, yeah.
Which boats are running lower in the water? All of them?
All of them. Which might also indicate that stuff in the doors is being unloaded, because the doors might not be functioning as you get further away from the city. You know how much metal was in that one door as well. Like
Yeah,
that's
for
enough to sink a ship.
Yeah.
Should we have people back in the Here's the issue. We're basically running on borrowed time. We don't know when we're going to lose access to the doors. Is there any way I could enhance the magic mod? I'm also assuming that we rest overnight at some point.
Yes, everyone regained 2 tacks. Presuming that you had not already done so. And yeah, that is something that you and Charles could probably sit down and try and sort out with the magic.
I do have a more brutal way of doing this. Like how much of the stuff is actually like if it were to suddenly drop, like the crate that it was in was suddenly dropped, or whatever, like how much of it would actually get damaged? You think? Like
dropped where?
So like like in the cave, if for some reason all the gravity things fell off forever and it dropped, how much do you think of the stuff would actually get damaged from like the boxes breaking?
From what you saw of the 3 that did drop, the damage was tremendous.
Yeah, but like for the valuables that we want, would they survive that, or do we need to do more gentle approach?
The metal would probably be fine if what you're trying to get is the gold.
Because the theory is to basically leave explosive on the ship, and then when the ships explode, to basically explode the or at least basically remove the force fields from all the boxes that have the gold and stuff in them, and just they're just now just boxes.
Yeah. The ones that won't work for the ones that contain fragile things like the potions room, that would probably be a nightmare. The potions would break and then mix, and then you have no idea what would happen. But yeah, the room with the gold and the platinum and the all that stuff, that would all be safe.
Or another thing is just to blow up the doors in make sure the doors explode, and then just basically we just have all the time in the world to open each one safely, because it would be far away from the ships.
Some of the treasure also was not contained in magic doors. So the gemstones are just in chests of holding. The magic items are just in the cart that was carrying them. So the doorways are the ones that had the wine, that's all gone. There's one that has the spirits that's probably about half empty after last night. Actually, no, that's not true. You guys couldn't even make a dent in that one. That was pretty epic. There's the potions one, the ingredients one. You guys have lost track of the explosives one. You've also lost track of the Bennington cylinders one and the Petrish one. But yeah, the doors that you do know the locations of would be then the spirits, potions, ingredients, iron ingots, steel ingots, gold ingots, platinum ingots, and mithril ingots. Also, you know where the door that has the documents is. You know where the room is, but the actual door that accesses it is with the Thieves Guild back in Celebre. So not inside the doors is a large collection of magic items and 22 chests with various gemstones.
Yeah. This is another side thing. Curious is I don't know if anyone has the power to do it, but if we were to acquire some kind of sleep like dreariness drug or something, and like someone like during the party had slipped it into a bunch of the people's drinks while they were not looking, and to be able to get us to get more stuff like transport stuff around, because not everyone will be as wary.
That would be a hell of a rewind to drug the entirety of 3 ships.
Yeah, it was just a thought. If anyone
Yeah, I mean, if that's something you guys wanted to invest the tax into.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out ideas to see if anyone else likes them or not.
Also, members of your party did partake of the drink, so that might have some other consequences.
Well, I suppose if we're doing a rewind, then we could rewind that they knew about it and didn't actually drink anything. They were just ordering drinks and then like pouring them off the side of the boat or something.
Or had their own drinks that they knew were safe or something, yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like if we are going to be blowing up these ships at some point, and we want certain treasure that's not currently in the magic doors, that we might want to start some sort of effort to start moving the things we want somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which carts are on our ship?
Great question. So your ship contained the cart that had the magic items, and the cart that had the Petrish pieces. However, the door that had the Petrish pieces has been moved out of that cart. So from what you can tell, that cart may actually just be an empty cart. You're not sure what's going on with that. You'd have to open it up and take a look.
Yeah, but I know what ship potentially the doors were put onto, because it was on the dock at the time that he had put them on them.
Yes. So on Edgar's ship is the cart that has all the gemstones, and the cart that has the doorways to the liquid assets. The wine ones are gone, both of them. You blew up one, and then you stole the other one. But he still has the doors that lead to the spirits, potions, and ingredients. None of those rooms have openings into the cave. They're all just floating still, secured. The explosives door is MIA. And then the third ship, which is the one that Jax is handling, has the metal doorways with the iron, steel, gold, platinum, mithril, and it also has the cart that used to have the documents, but no longer does. So again, you're not sure what's in that cart. You also do not, at the moment, have agents everywhere. You do have Rurik on board Edgar's ship. You guys are on Evatala's ship. And nobody on Jax's ship.
Well, not yet, but yeah.
Not yet.
The ships are connected right now, right?
They're being disconnected in order to get back underway.
I mean, so I'm on a Fisherman Guild ship, right? Or am I on Evatala's ship?
You've been on Evatala's ship, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Is all the treasure on Evatala's ship?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. So we just need to get all the treasure on Evatala's ship, and then we can just turn it around.
Yeah, I believe the treasure's scattered across all 3, and then we can basically prioritize the specific things that we really want.
Yes. I just finished explaining which ships have what treasure on it, but I can go through that again.
Yeah.
It's the standard rule of a GM. If you need to explain something, you need to explain it a number of times equal to the number of players plus 2.
On another note, is there anyone fishing? Because we need some reanimated fish underwater to make sure that tied together zombie corpses aren't fucking with our ship.
Oh, Charles, take notes. That's brilliant.
So Dasco knows this crew really well. Are any of them avid fishermen?
I mean, sure, it's the fishing guild.
Literally all of them.
Valid.
We need some fish.
Well, Avatala is going to show a keen interest in the sailors who are fishing in a very positive way, like I want to learn myself.
A lot of these guys, while they are professional fishers, they also have a sort of hobby of fishing in the older style with a rod and not necessarily just net casting. So they're happy to share their love of the sea and teach the captain a thing or two about how to cast a line and rod. At the end of it, you end up with some dead fish.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome. They're just like your fisher dads for today.
Yep.
How many more nights is this voyage?
4.
Can we reasonably expect that we will do these connected party boat things every night? Is that like an evening activity?
No, you're pretty sure that they went through all the wine to get rid of the door. The objective was never to have a party. The objective was to just empty out that room and then ditch the door.
Could we have brought up the idea of chaining the boats together at night for safety reasons?
You could. There's also the idea of sailing through the night to get there faster.
Well, we don't want that.
You don't, but Edgar certainly does.
I will remind them of how much is on board our ships, and that while
Do you want to call a captain's meeting for the 3 ships?
Ooh. Yes.
Okay. So you, Edgar, and Jax gather together.
Okay, so where are we gathering together?
Great question. You're the one who called the meeting.
Anything to delay our voyage. So most inconvenient time is probably
probably as they're untying the ship, you're like,
Yeah,
tie it back together again. We need to have a captain's meeting.
emergency captain's meeting. My crew is way too drunk for this.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Tell them we need to just stay tied together for the night because everyone's so fucking drunk that it's too dangerous to
Yeah.
set out right now.
We aren't in the pirate cove or anything yet, but we have a lot on board our ship, and not everybody goes there. In my experience, I have been on this side before, and I just feel that we should wait until our crews are fully at full working capacity before we untie. And at night, just to build some camaraderie, we should probably tie together. I know we want to get there as fast as possible, but it's more important that we get there as safe as possible.
Okay, make a perception, or sorry, not persuasion. That's the word I was looking for. Make a persuasion check.
I'd like to help out as the first mate of the ship. I'm just gonna start stumbling around drunk and as she's making her case fall down. Clearly I'm not in any shape to help with driving this boat.
He's like, whoa, shit. Just falls on his ass.
The ship's not even moving yet.
For a moment, Jax looks at him and is like, Wait a second. Do I know that stumbling drunk?
Like, I mean, my first mate's had too much. Can you imagine what the crew's like at this point?
Can I do help or die for that at all?
Yes.
If somebody wants to get away going down below deck, that would also be great.
Right. I mean, while this is happening, I'd like to go look at the carts that are empty.
I'm gonna guess this is a performance that I did.
Yes.
Unless you really did have that much to drink.
Remy, just a basic stealth check to get past the guards. Okay. So some helper dice there for the persuasion check. Edgar comments that as a captain, you don't seem to have great control of your crew there.
But my crew is loyal.
The sun's been up for over an hour, and they're still stumbling about drunk.
But my crew is loyal. If any of our crews are going to, have an issue, it's not going to be my crew.
All right, you get a peek inside, Remy, but you are spotted. What you see inside is a large quantity of explosives, and then there's a guard saying, "Hey, what are you up to?"
Those were helper die, correct?
Yes. Shifties were, yeah.
8 successes.
Okay. They agree to your terms to tie up at night, and they are willing to wait a little bit this morning. They'll wait till the sun is at its zenith.
All
I'm
right.
looking for more wine. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
I just said we've killed time. Okay.
I'll ask the guard where the wine is.
Ah, that's a good ploy. All right, so guard says, "That's enough for you. On your way. The party's over," and sends you away.
Is he escorting me back upstairs?
Yes.
Good. Does he have anything valuable in his pockets? Like keys or whatever?
I was about to say, keys to that very thing you were investigating. Yep.
Okay. Can I
I mean, you have a talent where you can tax, and anything of his is yours. Or you could just make a crime check to try and pickpocket him.
I will just tax it, and it is mine.
Cool. You have keys, his money, and a picture of his sweetheart.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, so now that we have some time bought, I think this is like our moment to try and smuggle stuff back over onto Evitala's ship.
It's a good moment. Now, this is a time where the guards that work for Edgar are more cognizant of what's going on than your own crew, as they are used to potions, used to the effects of alcohols and other various things, and so they're recovering from their hangovers pretty quickly and are back in working order. However, the boats are still tied together and will be until noon. So while nothing's going on today, You've also bought yourself about another quarter day before arriving. You can attempt to do various things during that, and the boats will stay tied together until noon. So you've got like 6 hours, basically.
What's our druid doing?
He has come back up from the hole, where he took, what's her name? Delia's body and embedded it in a coffin of solid rock at the bottom of the hole. And now he has come back up and had a bit to drink, but he's up and awake.
He's magical, right? Could our other magical people teach him how to deactivate the blue fields, and he just stay behind and start deactivating blue fields around doors and facing through walls?
His magic is not a science. His magic is a magic of belief. It's a philosophical magic.
Well, can they convince him that he believes he can do it?
No.
Damn it.
I was thinking of, yeah, I was thinking of going back to the city ref with the boxes, and like with his help, like he need to figure out exactly where so we have everyone marked, right? I think.
You were able to mark all of the ones that Rurik was able to get into, which was everything except the explosives, Petrish parts, and Bennington, because those had been boxed up and loaded onto one of the ships ahead of time. You guys have since lost track of where those are.
Okay, but like yeah, from the magical the other cave side, we still know where everything is. So my plan is I want to go back with the druid, and I'm going to start slowly deactivating things, and I'm going to basically get him to open up the bottoms of the floors because they're made of stone, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So he could basically, I don't know if I were able to deactivate most of the bottom floor, if I would be able to just like cut the floor out and just lift it downwards.
He can transmute the floor into sand, so that basically everything will just fall out into a pile of sand.
And will that be safe for most things? I don't know about the bottles or not.
Yeah, the potions are going to have a rough time of it if they're treated like that.
Yeah, so I might want to do that. Something else with the potions, but like.
But the gold bars and platinum and all that'll not be a problem.
Yeah, and while I'm doing it with the druid, I need someone to go and like sabotage any of the doors that are able to activate. You know, like the door frames.
Because here's the trick to all of this is that every time you guys deactivate one of the force fields, the door to that force field is going to have access to the cave. Right now, you guys control the only 2 doors that have access to the cave. But as you deactivate force fields, you can potentially be giving other doors access.
Yeah, that's why I need someone on the other side to start like not hurt the doors, but like hurt the door frames, so that either they have to repair them or like.
Okay, so you guys sort that out. I'm gonna go find Troy's character sheet and figure out what his actual powers are here. I know that it was liturgic powers.
We have successfully broken a door. Now, we broke it by exploding it, but we do know we can break the doors.
Yes.
So that they don't work.
A sufficiently sized explosion destroys the doors to the point where they no longer function. And the corresponding door on the other side of the portal will just not open.
So if we're smuggling, like, destroy the door, smuggle out all the stuff that's inside, I guess? Or is there anything inside at this point? Smuggle that all out, and then destroy the door from the side of the cave. Then they're just going to be left with non-functioning doors that they aren't, you know, going to open necessarily.
Yeah, if they attempt to open the door, it will fail. Now, what you'll have to do is, if you're going to do that, you got to basically stop them from accessing the door in that middle period between when you've robbed the stuff on the inside and when you blow up the door.
Yeah, that's why damaging the door frames is what should be happening. At least that's my opinion.
Without a door frame, they can't open the door. That's
More
true.
parties.
Now, I do know that your party also acquired the corpses of some fish for you. Do you want to focus on this project, or do you want to do some scouting with an undead fish? There's only one necromancer in the group, so just pointing that out.
Yeah, if someone else wants to do the magic part and I do the necromancy part, I would be happy for it. But yeah.
I think the one problem is that I'm basically the only other magically inclined person here, and I have duties as a ship captain.
Do you though?
I want duties as a ship captain.
Desco perks up and says, "Well, I've been known to dabble in magic from time to time," and then he stops himself and goes, "Oh no, you guys are. I'm working with you guys." Sorry,
It's instinct at this point.
I just play dress up, so I can dress like a magician. Will that help?
I mean, can we convince you of your belief in magic?
This is why Remy hired a diverse team.
Yeah.
Everybody's a specialist in something useful.
I'm not a necromancer, but I could give it a go.
No, that's the can-do attitude I like to hear.
Magical improvisation.
Yeah, and I've pumped you full of necromancy before.
That's a little
on the nose, but technically accurate. You have received large quantities of necromantic energies with which you were able to cast a pretty powerful spell once. That's how you found the cave with the doors to begin with.
Right. You could give it a go. What's the worst that could happen?
You get attacked by undead fish.
That's amazing.
And that's how
I mean, this is the
character gets
kindest
killed.
way possible, Vivian, but I hope you fail your roll.
I mean, let's go for it.
Just they come back into the cabin and find Avatelian dead and just some fish flopping.
I have insisted that I have I don't know, somebody guarding me while I do this. But let's give it a go. I can do an undead fish. Can make it friendly. In worst case scenario, I have a wrench.
Wait, was that your spellcasting roll? No. That was your persuasion roll from last time.
That was my persuasion, yeah.
Okay.
So, is it just my magical improvisation on this one?
I'm pretty sure it is, because I don't think you have any traits or anything that gives you advantage in this situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just rolling your magical potential. magical improvisation does mean the target number is halved.
Right.
So what is what is it you're trying to improvise with this spell?
I'm trying to get basically a undead seed fish that I could get into the water and scout out the zombies while I could see.
Okay. This fish is not really capable of any important actions so much. So this
Right, no.
sounds pretty first circle to me.
It's
really
very much
just remote eyes, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like find familiar, except you already have like the familiar component.
It's tell the corpse of a fish in front of you that it's your familiar. That's the name of the spell.
Yeah, okay.
But this case is called find fish familiar.
2 successes.
Okay. You have a undead fish that will obey your every command and whose eyes you can see out of. It's a little bit disorienting because you right now have effectively 4 eyes that you're seeing through, so your brain is processing a kind of slurry of information. It really helps when you close your human eyes. The fish's eyes do not close, ever.
Yeah, why do they need to blink? Their eyes are always wet.
Yeah. We'll have this fish go check out what's going on with the zombies underneath. I assume that's what we wanted to do.
Yep. And there's more than just the zombies. There is a sort of line of packages floating down to where the zombies are waiting with sleds that they're tied to. And they're loading these packages onto the sleds and carrying them south. The packages are coming down from your fleet of ships.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight with that wonderful little cliffhanger revelation. So now you guys have some semblance of what your enemy's plan is.
Some might say we're getting an in-depth view of it.
Nice.
Oh god, that was excellent.
Alrighty, you guys want to go ahead with the closing ceremonies?
Okay, I would like to give one to Jackie for her heartfelt speech about her fallen companion. I want to give one to Eben for his amazing. My brain it's a little bit late. For outstanding moral fiber. I want to give one to Echelon for I believe I'm real braining right now. I want to give Echelon for doing his usual stunts. He probably scammed someone out of something. I like to give one to Rav for their amazing performance. You know, like basically made the Jackie not really have to roll because like it's too good. I'd like to give one to Shifty for oh no, it was Shifty that got the was it Shifty that was stealthing? I'm trying to remember now.
It was me.
Oh, it was you, okay. And I would to give one to Shifty.
I was stealthing, but people were giving me fat rolls, which I did not get to use that well, but you know, we tried. That's what counts.
And I like to give one to Shifty for being for being everybody. I know those weren't the greatest descriptions, but yeah.
All right, I'll give it my best shot. For Chris, for acting drunk and walking away with a person's entire inventory. That was really good. Ed, for getting somebody to pay you a protection racket. when they initially offered to bribe you. Vivian, for your rousing performance and speech, which gave me a huge advantage with my stealth because my stealth is not good. And Kristen for going basically within very close distance of two people that would definitely recognize her if her costume wasn't so good, and maybe getting away with it.
Yeah, I'll go as well. Jackie for moving the door. You got a lot of support for that, but it was a super useful thing. I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen with the fake doors, but I knew they'd be useful. Kristen for saying I just played dress up and then just like strolling right past a bunch of people who like know you and potentially looking for you and getting away with it. Chris for the I can't remember the exact conversation, but the exchange was something like Dave was just like, okay, so you're gonna roll for that? And you're like, no, I'll just use the talent, just take all their stuff. Right. Vivian for acquiring your first zombie fish familiar.
I hope it's like the Crichton floppy fish.
Yeah, it's like the Crichton floppy fish, but rotty. And Tice for being the only person capable of realizing that there were zombies in the first place.
I'm sorry, it's an Orion floppy fish.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. Tice for be really the only one with the plan to get stuff out of some of these doors, and to actually make use of our doors. I'll give a point to Kristen for her incredible drunk act that helped really delay our shipping. I'll give a point to Ed for having now, I think, befriended every member of the crew. I don't even know if it might even be across 3 ships now that you're trying to befriend everybody, but you are the most popular crew member officially. Just robbing that poor dude blind when he caught you as trying to do something untoward. Yeah, I just feel bad for that poor dude. And
I don't. Fuck that guy. He's a guard.
He's hired help.
He's between us and our shit that we've preemptively decided is ours by nature of the fact that they're criminals.
What do you think we are?
Criminals. Like I just said. We're bad people. We're bad people. Think about what we just did to that poor lady who was also a bad person.
Well, a point to Jackie for honestly a very good performance of Sorrow when you were in some ways being interrogated about the disappearance of literally their most important guard.
All right.
You just use real emotion. It's called acting.
Can you guys imagine how much harder literally anything you were trying to do on the ship would be if Delia was still alive?
Fuck that.
I mean, me breathing would be very difficult.
Very hard. Very hard.
It would be difficult. It would be extraordinarily challenging for me to keep all of my blood inside my body if she was still around.
All right. To Captain for stealthing in the traditional way. I'm glad you didn't have to knock anyone out this time. Echelon for staying loyal to the one thing you've always been loyal to, your paycheck. Viv for just the fabulous show and distraction. Shifty a point for best first mate and costume coordination. And Tice for keeping your eye on the prize and making sure our plans get taken care of.
All right, I will go. A point to Evatala for buying us time so that we could try and get stuff off of the other ships, only to find that the stuff is definitely getting off of the other ships, but not exactly how we would have hoped. A point to Remy for, where's the wine? I thought that was hilarious. Great way to cover for yourself there. Point to Rorik for the emotional moment where you're just like, I need a moment to really just mourn the loss of someone, which is really interesting for that character that's such a brute. A point to Charles for detecting the underwater, not so explosive zombie conga line that we later found out more about, and really wouldn't have investigated further if we didn't know about it in the first place. And a point to Dasco for the decoy doors and just always, being a good grocer. Obtaining things for us that we might find a need for later. I think I got everyone there.
And I think everyone got a chance to give out points. Did I miss anybody? Alrighty. Thank you, everybody. We're back in action now, so I'll have more content ready for us next week. And yeah, thank you all. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll pick up again next week.